Okay, so as you can see, these cosmos that I planted in the pot, if I stood up next to them, I don't know if you can see, they're nice and tall, so they're getting really big. And we had a bad rainstorm last night. We're expecting another rainstorm later, so you could see like some of them look a little droopy, but that's because the rain poured on them and they haven't had enough sunlight to dry them up. But in this pot, as you can see, I have to go around and deadhead some of these. But believe it or not, the little finches came and they were eating the little seeds out of them. So I let them pick at it for a few days and then I'll deadhead them. And let me show you the actual. Okay, so here's the tomatoes. They have gotten really, really big. This was just a kit that we had bought for a raised garden. We had gotten it online for like really cheap. So I planted it last year and it seems to do really good here. The tomatoes are nice and tall. I just went and bought 4-foot stakes, pieces of wood, and just hammered it in. And there are some in cages in there. But the front ones are like, if you could see, they're going to be the little plum tomatoes. They'll get bigger, but those are the plum tomatoes. And then we have the cherry tomatoes, and then the little bit bigger than them, and the plum and cherry. And then down here you could see growing is the beefsteak and the Better Boys and some of the other varieties. And then along the edge here are the peppers. You can see the peppers are producing really good. And I just come out and give it a check. I have to go to Dollar Tree and get some more Epsom salt, which I was just there and I forgot to pick up. Strawberries are done for the season, but they still stay nice and green. Actually, we may get a few more. I just see a flower here. Whenever you see the flower, you get the fruit. So, you never know. I may get another one, batch, but I'm not sure. Blueberries are done. I had a net, as you can see, over it. I just pulled it off now just to get the last few blueberries. The rest are like kind of too small to really do anything with, but the birds were getting in here, so I had to put the net over it. And then over here are the figs. It's getting tall. I don't really see any figs yet, but figs are a fall fruit. I'll get the figs usually August and September, so we'll keep our eye out on the fig. So yeah, the grapes were doing really good until the rain started to come, and now we're getting so much rain that if you look closely, first of all, there's a beetle right here. The beetles this year are unreal. They're eating everything and they're driving me crazy. But if you look at the grapes, you see how some are rotting. They're getting too much water. So I'm not sure how good the grapes are going to do this year. I do have some bunches that look a little better, but then if you look, you see ones next to it that look like a raisin. So I do know they prefer a drier climate, and it's just been raining too much, and you can see here like the beetles ate all the leaves, but I can't go on beetle patrol everywhere. So I'm hoping some of these grapes survive, maybe where they get more sun. It's a little drier, but if it keeps up with this rain, the grapes are not going to do good. So it's a little disappointing. Okay, here's an update on the peaches. The peaches are doing really well. Unfortunately, though, the damn squirrel is back, and he found them. And this morning I found him on the roof here, trying to get into the tree to steal my peaches. So right now there's still a lot of peaches, although he seems to have gotten to a few of them because I'm noticing some spots that look bare already. But I'm hoping we get a few to taste before the squirrel consumes all my peaches. But what are you gonna do? I really can't cover a giant tree, so unfortunately the squirrel might have won again. Here are the zinnias that I grew from seed. They're getting nice and tall, along with the candy corn. It's growing up the trellis, and then, you know, you just train it whatever way you want, and it'll keep growing. And the hummingbirds love the candy corn. And finally, my milkweed blooms. I wasn't sure which color I was going to get. I have pink and I did have an orange, but this year I only see a lot of the pink, but that's okay. The monarchs love this, so that's for the monarchs. And I won't stay long here because my AC unit's right here. Then there's a bug on me. My pink hydrangea is blooming, And if you look, it does pink and purple in the same bush. And that's because of the acidity in the soil. So this one gives me pink and purple. These are my potatoes that I just do in these bags. And they're getting nice and big, and they are starting to flower. And what will happen is eventually they will get like kind of like dried up looking, and that's the time to harvest them. But I got a good, probably the end of August. So they got a while to still go before I harvest. As you can see, the corn is getting tall. It's about 6 feet tall because it's taller than the fence. The zinnias are doing good. The carrots are doing lovely. I have to read when I'm supposed to pluck them. I forget. The peppers back there are doing really good. That's where I picked all the peppers this morning. And then my battery is dying, so I'll try to make this quick. If you look here, you could see the bell peppers. That right there is more cucumber. And then in there I just have a melon and some more cherry tomatoes, and I'm getting bit by mosquitoes. I already clipped my oregano. I'm going to show you what I do with that. That's the zucchini patch. I just picked 2 from there this morning. The sunflowers are getting big. This is the little cherry tomato garden. I put it up front so I could have easy access to the smaller tomatoes. And then this one is just another little trellis with, if you could see, the little cucumbers that are growing up it. And underneath there I stuck another bell pepper plant because it likes more shade under there. And that is it. We're doing pretty good. This is my butterfly garden slash hummingbird. As you can see, the hollyhocks are getting so tall, they're tipping over. They had to be at least 6 feet, 7 feet tall. The rainstorm last night did not do too well. And these damn beetles, can you see the beetles? We are having a huge beetle problem this year. Seems to be about every 7 years we have a beetle epidemic here in New Jersey. And this year is Year of the Beetle. So I'm fighting beetles among the garden, but I'll just do whatever. I'm not gonna go crazy. Over here they got so tall, I tried to stake it up. They kind of tipped over, but with all this rain, there's just mosquitoes, and I really hate bugs. So over here a random tomato plant just grew. I guess the birds dropped it in front of my chicken coop. And then over here are just some roses and a big giant weed that I see that I have to pull. But I'm going to have to come out with boots and gloves, but it's too hot and humid right now. I'll have to come out at night. I really have to weed in here, but I'm not dressed for it right now, so I will come out later and take care of that. That's Chirps a lot, it's the black and white one. Chicklet's the little white one that was attacked, and the opossum bit its beak off, but she survived, and she's doing good. She's my oldest hen. We've had her about 6 years. And if you look in the back and you see like that pile of trash there, it's actually watermelon rinds. And what we do is when we cut up the watermelon, we throw it in there, and they pick it down to the core of the watermelon. And eventually it'll just disintegrate, but it brings bugs and stuff that they like, and they just love it. So if eventually it doesn't disintegrate, I will clean it up, but usually it just curls up and turns to dirt. But we'll give it a few more days, and if the bugs don't do their job, then I'll just remove it. And then we throw grass clippings in there from the lawn that we cut. That's filled with bugs that they like. And I see a wasp by my foot, so that means gotta go. Here is my hydrangea bush. It's in full bloom. The blue is just so beautiful next to these roses. I can finally prune the tree so I can get new growth because the baby robins already left their nest. They got big so fast. So I enjoy hydrangea. I think it's so beautiful and pretty. They just look like puffy clouds. So beautiful. And this is the hosta that I said eventually purple shoots will come out. And if you could see, it's little flowers with like purple stuff coming out. And the black-eyed Susans are just about to start to open here. In the front where I have full sun, they fully open. But here in the back, this gets shade. It's still not open. But these are really nice. These will last well into October, even November. And by then they dry out and the birds come and eat the seed. It's really cute.